What's happening YouTube? It's your man, your brother, Mulo Motivation. Thank you for coming back to my channel. So this is going to be part 2 to my reaction to Courtship of Rivalries. It's a very long documentary, but I'm loving it so far. So we're going to cover the second part today, and I'll take it from there. I just want to give this subscriber a shout out for suggesting the video as well. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for all the comments, all the requested videos. I do read through all of them. It takes me a bit of time to do that, but I'll make sure to get back to everybody. So if you have any suggestions on videos I should react to, whether if it's sports, cartoons, anime, you can comment down below and I'll do it. But it's looking like there's a lot of Larry Bird fans, And to be honest with you, I didn't know this much about Larry, and I'm looking forward to learn more. And not just Larry, but all-time greats as a whole. The game now sort of made a lot of people forget, you know, man, and lose respect to their names.
Known fact that you need your white superstars. You just need more white ball players on the team for the white fans to identify with.
And in the newest member of the Boston Celtics, that's exactly what the league appeared to be getting.
There's hope he can help solve professional basketball's difficulties. Some say are compounded.
Can't speak right now for some reason.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, it's very hard to say because there's a lot of great white players around, and I just hope that I can just fit in as well as some of them that has fit in.
He ran away from that designation. He made it very clear, almost from day one, that he was not the great white hope.
You know, the great players are the black players, and they're the best.
Such deference meant little to black Celtics like Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, and Cedric Maxwell, who looked at Bird and saw not the great white hope, but another case of great white hype.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you would say that most black players at the time were racist, in the sense that we did not think that you could find a white guy who could play better than any black guy.
When I walk in the first day of camp, them guys were on the floor stretching, and here comes the white savior, here comes this, here comes that. I sort of enjoyed it because I knew I was going to battle them all day. The Curtis and Sidney didn't last long. They didn't make it through the first practice. They were cut. So that was just Cedric.
I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is going to be a layup. Bam, knocks down a jump shot. Okay. Maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm going to D this guy up. I'm going to show him what it's like. 20 feet away. Bam. 25 feet away. Bam. My mind just goes to the, damn, this white guy can play.
It was a good thing, too. The storied Celtics might have been the winningest team in NBA history. But they were fresh.
Genetic capabilities that determine skills. Alright, people use that too much. I hate it. Especially in fitness. And just in a lot of things. You're black, that's why you're Jack. You're this, that's why you're this. If you knew what your body was capable of and what your potential could be, would you change your efforts? Would you do different things to reach that genetic peak? Because we all have genetic peaks. I'm a trainer, I know, I see it a lot, and I've transformed a lot of people, by the way. For those of you that don't know, alright, you can do a lot of things if you know and you put the effort over a course of time, right? And Larry Bird is an example of this, alright? Skill over, you know, just genetic capabilities. It comes with a lot of work.
To take on any challenge.
No, he played like everybody.
You don't get that good overnight. Like you just don't.
Everybody's against me. You should think up things to get me rattled before a game.
It's definitely the best Celtic ever. Definitely.
I know that from office before.
Definitely, and it's not. I don't think it's close. It's not close.
A hard time.
It's not close.
You know, said, hey, you know, this my friend. This guy was a pretty good sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry. Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school, and that's how he played.
Larry Bird plays it to the hilt, baby.
Played the game hard. Played rough.
drills about him. He came in,
Wow.
he threw elbows. There was nothing smooth about Larry. New Englanders.
I like his style.
They're
I like his
hardworking
style.
people. They like, that's how people view them, and that's what Larry was.
They also like winners.
I love competitive people in general. You know what I mean? I love competitive people. There's something we can learn from all these all-time greats. Like really. To apply to our lives.
There's only one place I'd rather be. French Lick. Thank you.
Man, Larry was almost agoraphobic in his treatment of anything outside his hometown.
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay. The further we are away from each other, the more I like it.
I had a nice little house. I had my little yard. I want to go from there to practice back. If we had a game coming up, I want to go there, the game, and back home. It was all basketball. My whole life was basketball.
If he was just sitting there with just me, just even looking around, mumbling, trying to find things that we had in common that we could talk about. Now, we started talking about basketball, we started talking about players. It was, that was great. U.S. history? No.
We forced passes, we made errors down the stretch.
Daily events? No.
I made the shot, and then always up by 2, and they had to get back in the game.
He's focused, man.
Politics? No.
He's focused.
I can't do, or do
I love that, man. Straight business.
He proudly
I love
dubbed
it. I love it.
himself The hick from French Lick, and he looked every bit the part. But those who played him for simple did so at their own peril.
One of the
You know what's funny? Like when I look at the top 10 players, right, on the list. I'm not gonna list them because the order depends on the person and what they see and experiences, all that. A lot of those players in the all-time have a common thing. They're all obsessed with the game of basketball, right? Like they're obsessed over being great, obsessed over being their best. Like some of the characteristics he has, like I can see in every single all-time great in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? So there's just many things we can take from this, right?
great ways, I think, of winding up with no money in your pocket is to think Larry Bird is dumb. Syntax is not intelligence. Unlettered is not stupid.
He's got a great sense of humor. He just didn't show that to people. That didn't mean he didn't have it.
He did, however, allow the public one
That's
small
funny.
indulgence.
You could come out on Saturday and watch him mow his lawn.
Huge crowds started to stop. Larry Bird's cutting grass in front of his house. He's mowing his lawn in the springtime.
Larry is about doing things himself, and I think it's one of the
I
things
like
that
that.
made him so beloved in Boston.
I like that.
But as Bird
A lot of people get rich and hire mates and hire everybody to do everything for them. People like him don't forget where they come from. I like it. But once you get rich, famous, and everybody knows you, you somehow get a bit more entitled. But he never lost like where he's from. I like it. I like it.
through his new world, he still had one eye fixed on a familiar foe in a faraway land.
Magic. I'm talking too much. Let me just.
What tripped me out was I'm riding, right? I'm riding. I'm seeing orange trees and lemon trees in people's front yards. Said, stop. I gotta go pick an orange. Are you crazy? I said, no, I gotta do this. And so I ran up like a scared little kid, grabbed the orange and ran back to the limo. I've never seen an orange tree. I've never seen a lemon tree. I was fascinated.
When 20-year-old Irvin Johnson arrived in Los Angeles in the fall of 1979, he was a world away from Lansing, the only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers, a once dominant
Wow.
franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Man,
the Lakers had
Kareem.
captained
That's another guy I could react to.
Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
Lit the place up. Changed the franchise, changed the temperament. I changed it from the very first game.
was the first game of a long season against the lowly Clippers.
Wow.
And Magic was embracing Kareem as if they'd just won their 10th straight championship. It was like, man, this is a different kind of dude.
From the day he arrived, he became the prince of the city. He reminded me of a guy who wakes up without an alarm clock. And that's what I used to always say. I want to be happy enough to wake up without an alarm clock because I want to go.
That's a good description. I do not smile that much.
That it, what it is. As far as I was concerned, the it was not his ability or his size. The it was his attitude, was his leadership, was his mind. I mean, I don't have to talk about Game 6 in Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson will show.
In his rookie season, Magic had helped lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers.
In the rookie year.
In Game 6,
Wow.
with an injured Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA, Magic played all 5 positions, scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists.
Wow.
Leading the Lakers
Ooh.
to the championship.
A pass,
In
though.
just 4 years, he had won titles in high school, college, and the pros.
Magic, what do you have that makes you perform like this in these championship games?
Well, I don't know. Just I love to win. Across the masthead of the Los Angeles Times the next day, it said it's Magic.
He was a star when he first arrived here, coming off the NC2A game. And quickly, during that first season, he became one of the stars in town. But that game put him on another level. That made him the star in town.
It's funny how I wanted to meet the celebrities, but they wanted to meet me. I was like shocked. Wow, you know who I am?
He was young, famous, and after Lakers owner Jerry Buss signed him to a 25-year, $25 million contract, very rich. The kid from Lansing was ready to sample a different kind of fruit. His playboy boss knew all the ripest trees.
I said, oh, I'm hanging with him. When they were coming into the box, and he had 10, 20 of them, and look, Irvin, which one you want? And I was like, oh, okay, it's like that? And then he said, I'm going to take you to the Playboy Mansion. What? The mansion? No, you're kidding. I said, yep. So I went there, and my first time, I'm bagging up like, I can't believe I'm in, but I'm bagging up away, you know, it's like, I'm scared to death. Probably 10 guys to 100 women, you know. Everybody think it's sex driven, but it's really not. You have dinner, then you watch the latest movie. And then, of course, I don't want to ever say that sex wasn't involved, because if you meet somebody, that's what, you know, you want to do, you did that. But it's really a great experience to go up there. So, yeah, I had fun there.
He came to LA like the Pied Piper. You know, people were giving him this and giving him that, but you know, he stayed pretty grounded to the game.
Everybody was getting high then, but you can't even smoke a joint around Magic.
He had real old school, down in the trenches.
Wow, what do you know? The same type of personality to discipline. It's like, you're not great by accident. Like, I all watch what people do, the successful people. How do they do it? What's their personality traits? And of course, no drugs. I mean, is it by accident?
Work ethic. And that was honed in him by his dad, Irvin Johnson Sr.
Magic was always this guy.
Yeah.
He never did none of that. So
Yeah, man. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
Magic Johnson
Nah.
was living his natural
I'm 28.
He was
I don't do
starring
that
in the
stuff.
role of a lifetime. Point guard of a Hollywood
Nah,
team.
you can call me
An offensive
uncool or whatever. I just don't do it,
even had
right?
the alter ego perfect for the production.
It's not good for you.
I mean,
Know what I mean?
Magic was his stage name.
It's really
He
not.
would laugh about it.
Well, he always says there's two people. There's Irvin Johnson from East Lansing, and there's Magic Johnson from Hollywood.
Irvin Johnson is another guy. You know, here's Magic over here and here's Irvin over here.
Irvin is this fun-loving guy.
Man.
Magic was so serious and dedicated to his game, and he was a crazy, crazy competitor.
after the NCAA championship game.
Irvin doesn't have the ego that Magic
What?
has. Magic
Interesting.
has a crazy ego, and winning is everything.
And Irvin
Of course, as he should be. As he should be.
conquer LA.
Playing to have fun. It's fun to
After having
win.
led the Lakers
Duh.
to 2 NBA titles in their first 4 years in town, Magic and Irvin were well on their way.
Yeah, it's all about winning.
I think Magic wanted to be friends with Larry Bird. He wanted to be friends with him on the World Invitational Tournament, and Larry just wasn't very receptive. I think he wanted to be friends with him during the Final Four. Larry wouldn't even go over and shake his hand. So now
Larry.
Magic's saying, well, what's with this guy? Everybody loves me. How come you don't love me? And then they get to their rookie year, the first time they play each other, well, they have a very hard foul. And they have to be separated a little bit. And Magic's like, all right, well,
Ooh, I
enough
love
of this
it.
guy. You don't like me? Fine. All right, good. I don't like you either.
You know, he's a very competitive player, and I'm a very competitive player. And we go head to head, and we go for blood almost.
The vibe was nasty. It was ugly. It was we didn't like each other.
I'm the one that did all that. To tell you the truth, it was. I just don't want to be hanging around him. I mean, that was my main competition.
That's the mindset people lost now, man. In general, everybody trying to be buddy buddies and everyone trying to kiss, trying to hug and all that stuff. Listen, man, if you're my opponent, you better be ready to drop dead because I am not stopping until I win. By any means necessary. I'm not your buddy if you're my competition. The players now lost that. You know, they've really lost that. They're tweeting at each other, you know, saying to each other high fives, good job, all holding hands, all that fun stuff. Pfft. Bro, like, this is the part of basketball I miss so much. Like, where is it? Where is it? I was commenting to a person, I think a few days ago. I almost threw my controller, right? Because I watched NBA highlights on my PS4. I almost threw my controller because of how many possessions I saw players not put a hand up to a person shooting. Like, there is no effort whatsoever anymore. And it just sucks to watch now. It's just better to watch highlights. That's about it. And it's better to watch crossover highlights and dunk highlights. But to watch game highlights, you would throw your controller too. Or your remote, whatever. Like, it's tough to watch now.
Oh, it ate at him bad that he didn't win that national title against Magic. That was something just burned him.
It was one thing for them to be in the 79 championship. Magic had the better team. Everybody agreed with that. Magic had the better game. Fine. Now you get to the pros. Larry has this incredible year. But there he
Damn.
is, watching in a club while Magic Johnson wins a championship, and he's thinking, all right, I'm behind 2-0 now.
I watched that game and I couldn't believe it. I always wanted to play at that level.
But what Bird couldn't possibly have known was that he had inspired Magic's performance when he was named Rookie of the Year earlier that same day.
Wow.
The PR person from the Lakers says, hey, Irvin, the Rookie of the Year voting has come out. And Magic says, okay, well, who won? He said, well, Larry Bird won. And Magic says, well, was it close? And he said, oh, no.
What? Wow.
That day, yes, to try to
What?
win the NBA championship.
You didn't win Rookie of the Year and you won the
what?
chip that
I
year?
should have been Rookie of the Year.
Wow. I never knew this.
Win Rookie of the Year too.
Yo.
Championship.
This is crazy.
I wanted one.
But even after he had won one the next year, his obsession only grew deeper.
I'd get up in the mornings and see what he did because their games came on late. Then you look at the box score. I had to have him there for some reason, like a crutch, somebody I could compare myself to.
I hated
Man.
what was being said that Larry was better than me, and I'm just a guy who can control the game. My first 4 or 5 years.
Just control the game. I think control of the game is everything.
Their competitive
There are different positions too. I mean, you can. It's hard to compare players.
they were double.
It's very hard to compare players at different positions, right? So when you're talking about a better passer, a better rebounder, right? First of all, okay, you're a better passer, you're a point guard, okay. You run the floor, you have the ball most of the time, you have a high usage rate, okay, your assist is gonna be higher. Better rebounder, okay, it's relative. If you're a shooting guard versus a forward, somebody else in the paint has a high chance to get more rebounds than a guard, right? Okay. Score is maybe the only one you can argue, but all the other facet stats is it's you cannot be too like direct with it. You know what I mean? You gotta dive deep on why. You know what I mean? You gotta dive deep on why. You gotta compare players to their respective positions. Not It's tough to compare different positions. That's what I'm trying to say. Very tough.
Team-oriented stars who cared about winning above all else. Basketball savants who fused the substance of the 60s with the style of the 70s to create a new and exciting yet selfless way to play the game in the 1980s.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. But I'm gonna pass in a way to make you look like a jackass.
Oh my god.
So similar in the way they competed.
Oh, they were both great
They were half
passes.
of the same brain.
Jeez.
Craziness to excel.
I seen that first couple days I was with him.
Basketball IQ.
What?
Seen the game a little different.
I should do reactions on Magic too.
Playing the game the right way was everything.
A lot of guys can just score. A lot of guys can just rebound. A lot of guys can just make plays. We can do it all.
Larry and Magic controlled the game with 12 shots. It was amazing. They'd be 7 for 12. They'd have 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. And you go, man, the guy shot the ball 12 times and was the best player on the court by far.
I think it was tough at first. I don't think either one of them wanted to recognize that they had any equal anywhere in what they did. But they sure as hell didn't want to recognize that their equal happened to be that other guy.
That's why we hated each other too, because we knew we were mirrors of each other.
Well, the two of them they didn't come to grips with that.
They had begun changing the game, but with continued low television ratings and tape-delayed finals, the league was struggling to get the word out. When the NBA and CBS signed a new TV deal for the 82-83
I like
season,
this documentary so
the
far.
rescue plan was simple. Sell more Bird and Magic, and sell them not just as ball players, but as arch-rival characters in their own dramatic saga.
You got this slick Showtime African-American guy out west.
Ooh.
And you got the lunch bucket, floppy-haired white guy with the bruises all over his body. It's central casting. It's perfect.
What made heaven? In 1979, this idea of Magic and Bird was created. And so that was sort of a no-brainer. We'd have a doubleheader. It would be the Celtics playing first and the Lakers playing second. And that's the way we did it.
And when the Celtics and Lakers both reached the finals just a year into the new TV deal in 1984, it appeared the superstar investment was about to pay off.
It was huge. It was probably the biggest moment the NBA had up to that point. You had Boston and LA, East against West. It had all the elements of a classic showdown.
Including what was becoming the most inescapable element of all.
Did we know that blacks and whites were lining up, the whites with the Celtics, the blacks with... Of course we knew that. Even
That's so funny.
Celtics' own backyard.
They land at Logan Airport at the 84 finals. He's getting accosted by various people who were telling him Larry's going to take him down. But this one older African-American gentleman comes up to him and goes, Magic, I want to wish you well. Good luck. I want you to crush the Celtics. And he said, oh, where are you from? He said, well, I'm from Boston. They said, you're from Boston and you're rooting for the Lakers? I thought everybody here was crazy about the Celtics. And he looked right at me and said, now why would I root for those white boys?
Wow.
Boston
Very interesting. Very interesting.
scarred by the ugly busing crisis of the mid-70s.
Damn, man.
A violent period of urban
Wow, how could you do something like that, people, man? Honestly.
taint on the city
Golly.
coupled with a Boston roster littered with
I wish, people, I don't actually wish this, but I wish hypothetically, I wish you would just cut different race of people in half and see what's inside. It's all the same, right? Like, how can you? I don't understand racism. I really don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
As a team that was white.
They were perfect archetypes for what was becoming the biggest story in sports.
I don't understand racism. I really don't.
For the real-life players,
I'm not a victim of it, but I still don't understand it. As in, I'm not a victim that fixates on it.
Again, it's just a matter of rolling that ball out there and let's get it on.
Welcome then to the Boston Garden and the start of the NBA World Championship Series. I'm Brent Musburger. In each of the last 4 NBA World Championship Series, either Magic or Bird has competed. But this is the first time that the two have gone head-to-head for the title.
jumped out on them that first game, and we won in Boston.
And with less than a minute to go in game 2,
Close game.
the Lakers were closing in on a commanding series lead.
From that point on, things began to crumble.
Down to 9 seconds. Magic holds the ball. Magic trying to work on Maxwell. Magic has still got it down to 2 seconds. 1 second. He's going to have to shoot it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
Cheesy Johnson dribbling the timeout. What are you doing?
Wow.
The Lakers regained their stride in game 3.
Wow.
Only to be rudely knocked off it again in game 4.
Oh, I miss those times, man. Hard fouls.
But Kurt Bramage got taken out.
You freaking you look at the ref the wrong way now. Tech foul. Tech foul. You breathe on someone now, it's a foul. Soft skirt leak.
We were not mentally tougher than the Celtics.
Magic's just not himself.
I'm sure they won't let the time run out, but they did in game 2.
Magic. Wow.
There were a number of places where, Irvin didn't do what people expected him to do.
Tied at 123. He misses the first.
Wow.
Johnson misses the post.
This is stuff you don't see.
Responded, Magic Johnson goes to the bench.
Bird. Fade away.
Game 5 went to the Celtics.
Wow.
Game 6 to the Lakers.
Oh my god.
It was like 1979 all over again.
Jeez, man. Rivalry, man.
For Bird and Magic.
If everybody had to look at it, probably would have said this is going to be a 7-game series.
I thought we'd sweep them in 4, but
Bird. I thought it would sweep them. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Ain't no way they're walking out here with a win.
I wouldn't expect him to say anything less.
No way.
That's hilarious.
Johnson with the ball. The Lakers trying to cut it to 1.
Wow. How many times have they faced in the finals?
The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions.
Wow.
I pride myself in being the guy who's going to win it for us and deliver under pressure. And it didn't happen.
I hope he was hurt. Hope it killed him. He made some bad plays down the stretch, and nobody in there was happier than me. Not only winning the game makes you feel good, but just knowing the other guy's suffering, and you know he was.
I remember after the game that both he and I were in the shower crying. Stayed in there for about 35, 40 minutes. It was hard because not only had we lost to the Boston Celtics, he had lost to his nemesis, Larry Bird.
You never hear any stories about Magic Johnson choking, but if there's any players, like that's the difference between the media now and the media then. I never thought Magic ever choked, ever. But if you look at a lot of the players now, on the bottom of the top 10 list, if anything happens, you are like criticized for it. You know what I mean? Criticized. That's the difference between that and now. The only thing now is with the criticism. There's a lot of media. A lot of word goes around now than before.
Just made me dislike it.
I never even knew Magic choked, ever, until this documentary. So,
Larry, does this get you even with Magic for what happened between Michigan State and Indiana State all those years ago? Yeah, we're professionals now, but I want this one for Terre Haute.
Well, it was a big deal. I remember asking Quinn Buckner about it afterwards. They had a celebration in downtown Boston after
Wow.
the championship, and You know, it was unusual for Larry to have these little outbursts, as Quinn would call them. But, you know, about 11:30 at night, finally he turned to Quinn. He goes, I got him. I finally got him.
Wow. So folks, we're going to end the reaction there. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Stay tuned for parts 3, 4, and 5. So we're at the 50-minute mark right now. And almost done the documentary. I love it so far. I cannot wait to do the next part. And yeah, so make sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what things you want me to react to. I'll do shout outs at the beginning of the video and cover the videos that you guys suggest. Okay? Like always, get better every day, optimize yourself. Stay tuned for the 3rd part, and I'll see you next time. God bless you.